performers. You can see my life now. This is one of the challenges, being a father on the stage and having a little child on the audience. So thank you so much for an ethnic performance. This is the time for us to invite Miss Jacqueline to lead us with Canada National Anthem.
ခုချိန်မှာကိုရီးယားနိုင်ငံချင်းဒီဆိုပေးဖို့ရအတွက် Jacqueline ကိုစင်ကြီးပေါ်ဖိတ်ခေါ်ပါရှင်။
Thank you so much, and you may all be seated. Now I would like to call on Mr. Zhao Zongwei. Mr. Zhao Zongwei recently has been awarded Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal for his work for Burma, and he is also currently served as a spokesperson for the Burma Ethnic National Peace Network Canada and Canada Freedom of Canada Campaign for Burma.
ဒီနေ့ဗမာပြည်ရဲ့အကျိုးကိုထိရောက်စွာတည်ပို့နိုင်ခဲ့တဲ့သူရဲ့လူတွေကြောင့်ကိုကျော်စောဝေဟာ Elizabeth ညီမကြီးရဲ့စုချီးမြှင့်ခြင်းကိုခံရတဲ့လူတစ်ယောက်ဖြစ်ပြီးတော့ဗမာပြည်တိုင်းရင်းသားအစည်းအရုံးရဲ့ပြောရေးဆိုခွင့်ရှိသူဖြစ်ရပ်တည်ပေးနေတဲ့လူတစ်ယောက်ဖြစ်ပါလိမ့်ရှင်
Let us now invite Mr. Zhao Zongwei to officially introduce us to our special guests of honor who are here with us today.
အခုအားလုံးကိုအထူးဧည့်သည်နဲ့မိတ်ဆက်ပေးဖို့ကိုကျော်စောဝေစင်ကြီးပေါ်ဖိတ်ခေါ်ပါလိမ့်ရှင်
Thank you, Sopita. Thank you, Queen. I'm very honored to have a chance to greet and introduce the dignitaries this evening. First, I would like to introduce the Honorable Tim Opal. Tim is the Minister of State Democratic Reform. He has served on the Standing Committee on Citizenship and Immigration and Standing Committee on Health. I met Tim a few times, few occasions, and on each time that those occasions related to human rights and democracy. Recently at the event announcing the opening of the Canada's Office of the Religious Freedom. We are honored to have Minister Opal at our historic event to represent the Honorable Julian Fantino, Minister of International Cooperation in the Government of Canada. And then second, I'd like to introduce MP Costas Medvedev. Costa has served on the House of Commons, Standing Committees, Citizenship and Immigration, and Procedure and House Affairs. Recently, Costas participated in a Canadian multi-party parliamentary delegation to Burma from February 16 to 22nd. And I also has an opportunity to host and meet Burmese parliamentary delegation in Ottawa. This evening, he represents Jason Kenny, Minister of Immigration, Citizenship and Multiculturalism. So first of all, I'd like to invite Minister Paul to speak on behalf of Minister Anthem.
Well, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure and honor for me to be here. It was great to walk around and meet people from the different ethnic groups and to see the booths. Thank you. And it's great to be here with my colleague from the House of Commons, Costas Madakis. And like you said, that I'm here on behalf of Canada's Minister of Cooperation, International Cooperation, the Honourable Julian Fantino. History tells us that in response to great suffering and tragedy, Canada is routinely at the forefront of global efforts to alleviate hardship. Recent examples include being among the first to respond to the call for help after the earthquake in Haiti in 2010. Later that year, when parts of Pakistan endured some of the worst flooding the country had seen in 80 years, Canada again supported global efforts to save lives and prevent disease. In East Africa in 2011, we demonstrated compassion for those facing extreme hunger, acute malnutrition, disease, and the loss of livelihoods. A similar outpouring of Canadian support came in 2012, when a food and nutrition crisis affected more than 18 million people in Africa's Sahel region. Canada has a long tradition of generosity, helping the world's most vulnerable people. We live up to the values we hold dear and never shy away from assisting friends and neighbors in times of great need. It is this compassion and generosity that compels Canada to believe in the value of international assistance, whether in the form of long-term programming designed to help more people move from poverty to prosperity, or in the provision of urgent humanitarian assistance whenever and wherever required. Canada's Economic Action Plan 2013 confirmed the Government of Canada's commitment to maintain its full capacity to respond to humanitarian needs, both as an expression of the values we believe in and because it is our moral imperative to assist those who are without the means to overcome the challenges they face. For example, in Burma, while some positive political developments have resulted in sanctions being lifted, the situation remains difficult for hundreds of thousands of people who have been displaced by violence and conflict. Today, I am pleased to announce that Canada will contribute $4.2 million for 2013 in life-saving assistance in response to the pandemic. Canada's support will help ensure that food, water, healthcare, emergency shelter, and protection activities reach the most vulnerable people affected by violence and conflict in Burma. 2012 saw intense communal clashes in Rakhine State. These clashes resulted in the displacement of over 100,000 people. The United Nations describes the makeshift living conditions of these displaced people as dire. On the other side of Burma, between 75,000 and 100,000 people, mostly women and children, have been displaced by fighting between the Burmese military and the Kachin Independence Army. These displaced people are living in camps in Kachin and Shan states and in neighboring China. In addition, approximately 239,000 displaced people live in southeast Burma, and further, 230,000 Burmese refugees have crossed into neighboring Thailand. Canada's contribution made in response to annual humanitarian appeals will support the efforts of a number of international Canadian organizations working to provide life-saving services to hundreds of thousands of people in Burma. Canada works through its partners there, including Hope International Development Agency, Oxfam Canada, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the United Nations Children's Fund, the United Nations World Food Programme, and other humanitarian partners to provide assistance as effectively and efficiently as possible. Targeted to where it is needed most and to where our partners can best deliver results, this assistance includes such diverse activities as installing water supply systems, providing warm clothing and blankets, rehabilitating health facilities, engaging in dialogue with Burmese authorities and other influential actors in the country to promote respect for humanitarian principles and international humanitarian law. It is our privilege to support efforts in Burma and around the world that ease the human suffering caused by this humanitarian crisis. The Government of Canada has made our commitment clear. We provide humanitarian assistance when the basic needs of people affected by crisis are not met. A commitment reiterated by today's announcement. Thank you very much.